Hey guys, welcome back to Technique Tuesday. In this week's episode, we're going to give you 5 drills to improve your ring muscle. Drill number 1 is the beat swing. Jumping up to the high rings, we're going to think about keeping tension in the body throughout by keeping our feet together. Understanding that the movement is initiated by swinging the legs. Common faults here is bending the knees as we come into our arch or letting the legs come apart throughout the swing. This will result in a loss of tension. Drill number 2, we're going to perform a banded hip pop. This will be performed in the low rings. The main aim of this drill is to understand the momentum created from the hip drive will transition our body over the rings in the ring muscle. So firstly, to understand the movement of the hips, we're going to keep it really slow and we're going to keep the arms long. We're going to press the hips up as the heels come down and move through this for 3 to 4 reps. Once we understand this, we're going to keep the arms long, but we're going to think about popping the hips towards the rings. Once we understand this, we're then going to progress a wee bit further. We're going to think about, as we pop the hips, pulling the rings down towards our hips. Okay guys, drill number 3 is going to be our turnover drill. The main issue we see in the ring muscle-up with our turnover is people keeping a real rigid grip on the rings as they transition over. This results in them getting either stuck or failing a rep. In this drill, we're going to start in like a seated position with our arms long, feet underneath the rings. We're then going to think about a fast setup over the rings, popping our body through. As you can see, PD finishes in a position with the rings beside the chest in that low dip position. Once you've nailed this, drill number 4, we're going to put all the previous drills together in a banded ring muscle-up. So getting into your seated position, similar to our banded hip pop, we're going to think about having the hips just slightly off the floor with our feet together. As the toes rise up, we're then going to pop our hips and think about transitioning over the rings. Once you get more comfortable in this movement, think about being more aggressive with the hip pop and the transition over the rings. If done correctly, your feet should snap aggressively towards the floor. This is going to help with your ring muscle. Once you complete this drill, our final drill is going to be hips to rings. Jumping up to the high rings once again, we're going to think about putting all our previous drills together. We're going to pop our hips up and aim to touch our hips off the rings. A good rep, we'll be able to see over the rings as our hips touch. A bad rep where we overarch, we won't be able to see over the rings because our head will be lower than the rings as seen here. If we perform a bad rep, more than likely we'll find it really difficult to then transition over the rings due to our body position. Okay guys, hope these drills help and comment below if you'd like to see more.